what I was going to say is, like, you know, speaking about the early days, you know, like, this year marks the 20th anniversary of the G-Unit mixtapes, 50 Cent is the Future,
sure.
No Mercy, No Fear, and God's Plan. Like, if you take us back to 2002, what was it like for you during that time?
Shit. Oh, man. Honestly, that was, like, the best.
Does it feel like 20 years?
Yeah and no. Yeah and no. That was, like, I can honestly say, like, probably my favorite year.
02?
02?
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Even, like, more than, like, my solo album. Yeah. Because, you know, going into that time, like I said, you know, from sitting in the house, literally, like, you know, 8 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning, just talking, you know what I mean? Just talking about how it's going to be, what to expect. You know what I mean? Like, really preparing for this shit, you know? We would like to say we were, like, gearing up for the long run, but that'd be a lie, yo. Like, niggas was talking about how to be, like, a tornado. Like, not, hey, we from over here, like, tornado, everything stopped.
We're taking over the rap
like
game.
that type of energy, that urgency.
What's good with it, YouTube world? It's Coffee, back at it with another one, a hip-hop blog for y'all. And you guys hear that there. None other than the Punchline King himself, Lloyd Banks, making some appearances, doing some interviews, you know what I'm saying? New project out, been out a few months. Course of the Inevitable 2. Comment and let me know if y'all fucking with the album, your favorite tracks and whatnot. But you heard him right there reminiscing upon this journey, you know what I'm saying, that he had through the hip-hop world. But we know he didn't have it alone. Banks is a part of a major group, a major movement. G-Unit, you know what I mean? And it's wild. We talk about this from time to time. They pop up in the headlines, you know what I'm saying? Here we are in 2022. The G-Unit name, brand as a music entity, as hip-hop world, is pretty much has ceased to exist. You know what I'm saying? You got Uncle Murder running around a little bit. I thought he wasn't even repping it no more, but I guess he still technically is G-Unit. But it's just always crazy for me to look at things this way, you know, with G-Unit, the way they came in, how big they were, and they're like no more, you know what I mean? And it's dope, though, that we're seeing Banks. If you guys recall, there was a point in time, like, I believe he announced his retirement or whatever, but he's back, dropped a couple projects, part 1 and part 2 of the, you know, Course of the Inevitable, made some appearances, some collabs, work with Griselda. I kept having my fingers crossed that, like, Griselda would sign Banks. I don't know, some people agree with me that it would be a good fit somewhere like Coffee or Buggin', but I don't know. It's interesting, too. We just saw Griselda. I believe they signed Jay Electronica, or were about to sign him. I never saw if it was official or not. But, like, Dale Fluck was certified vets in the rap game. You know what I mean? I'm getting a little off track like I do, though, as the main thing we're talking about here was that journey of G-Unit, you know, through the rap game. And comment and let me know y'all favorite era of G-Unit. But you heard Banks, man, his favorite year, 02. Interesting year. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nostalgia junkie. I love going back in time, and thinking of music always takes me there, you know what I mean? Like, comment and let me know if y'all are like that, man, where you hear a certain track and you can picture where you were back when you first heard that, or back during that era, you know what I mean? And G-Unit definitely had some bangers back then, and you heard him specifically mention those mixtapes, right? 50 Cent is the Future, God's Plan, and No Mercy, No Fear. Now, these were fire. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a interesting, dope time as these mixtapes were coming out. Y'all remember that? Like, G-Unit used to make tracks over other artists' beats. Comment, y'all, your favorite mixtape of those, your favorite tracks off the mixtape. Like, few of them that just pop in my head right away off that rip. You remember the one they had to the East Siders, if it ain't a Chevy, don't raise it up. They had that, I say gangsta up, ain't no one got ish on me, I stay with my strap in case I gotta pop somebody. G-Unit streets, G-Unit click, yo, we run these streets. Yo, that ish was hard. And then, of course, y'all remember on you guys remember that Quali and To Live Quali and High Tech joint where the beat was like Quali. They had a crazy one on there that they did to that beat where Banks said some ish. He said, "You ain't like me, that's cool. I don't give a fuck. Quality time ain't gonna put me in a bigger truck." And I believe he said something about a chick's worst nightmare is a paternity test. Fifth started it out talking about, "I need no introduction, everybody. You heard of 50 Cent? You heard of G-Unit? I'm not high tech and I'm not quali." What'd he say something about, "When you see me in the club, you better show me love. If I ain't heaven, I get in on the jack in 10 minutes flat and shoot up your party." Like, it was just bangers. Apologies, y'all, too. I know I come off very offbeat and whatnot. You know what I mean? I know I should probably stick to the commentary, but when I get to reminiscing on this hip-hop history and all these fire tracks, man, I can't help it. It just takes me back there. You know what I mean? And again, you know, comment and let me know if y'all remember, you know what I'm saying, that era very well and your favorite tracks and everything. And obviously, we know it was like an amazing plan. I don't know if it necessarily was a plan right away, right off the rip, that those mixtapes, that campaign would lead into, you know, Get Rich or Die Trying, which obviously, you know, one of the biggest hip hop albums of all time. The hype, everything, you know, like the momentum behind that project coming in was insane, you know, and it was like dope that, like, on the corporate side of things, on TV or whatever, mainstream wise, we were seeing all kinds of little specials about 50 Cent, somewhat introducing G-Unit. You know what I'm saying? You had the Wankster song, which was also on the 8 Mile soundtrack out back then, and had a video that was getting spins on MTV and BET. You had the In the Club video, you know what I mean? Like, it was dope. It was amazing. You know what I'm saying? It was lit, man. And when I was saying, I don't know if that was necessarily the plan. Like, I don't know if, you know what? I don't think when they first started making them mixtapes, they already knew Get Rich or Die Trying was coming on Shady. I think Eminem kind of reached out to them. Now, if I remember correctly, kind of because of those mixtapes, I believe M got a hold of one of those, or someone put him onto one of those, and he was like, man, I think it was like an A&R or something like that. Someone said, you got to listen to this, man. You know, these dudes are amazing. As we know, 50 Cent had a tough time in the rap game, and after being shot and dropped by Columbia, you know, there's word that he was kind of blackballed from the industry, and to record those mixtapes, he had to go across the border, you know what I'm saying, to our neighbors in the north in Canada to be able to secure studio time. And I remember hearing those mixtape covers and all that. You see him, you know what I'm saying, all their mean mugging, big ass jeans, 3X white tees and throwback jerseys on. Y'all remember that era, right? I remember hearing that they shot all those in a garage. They did all three of those mixtape covers in the back, all the artwork, whatever you want to call it, 3 in 1 at one time. Again, in a damn garage. But with all this being said, it's really interesting to hear that Banks say that was his favorite year, his favorite time in the rap game. You know what I'm saying? 2002, before the big fame came. You know what I'm saying? Before Get Rich or Die Trying drop, before Hunger for More dropped. You heard him, that was even more of a special moment or his favorite time than his own project dropping. And when you think about that, it tells you about a lot about Lloyd Banks' character and who he is, and you know how he's seemingly a very stand-up dude. I mean, we know how dope Banks is as an MC. I mean, I say that every time I do a video that, you know, entails Banks, that it's criminal to me that he didn't get, I mean, don't get me wrong, he got some shine in hip-hop, but to me, I feel like he needs to be recognized even more. But anyways, you could tell Banks don't care about that. You know, that wasn't the big moment for him getting his shine. That wasn't the big moment for him, all the fame. It was grinding, you know what I'm saying, with the bros, putting in work, staying up late, talking about what it was gonna be like. You know what I mean? Coming in like a tornado. You know what I mean? You heard him, like a storm. And that's exactly what G-Unit did, man. After all that hard work, like, they blew the fuck up. And then a year or two later, remember, they kept coming with those mixtapes too, the G-Unit radio mixtape series. And then they even had the G-Unit radio on Sirius XM later on Shade 4 or 5. I think used to come on the weekends. Like, remember on that one mixtape they were talking about G-Unit books, G-Unit clothing, G-Unit whatever. Like, it was everything G-Unit, you know what I mean? But Banks loves to think back on before that, you know, the come up. And that's pretty interesting to me, because we know Banks currently nowadays, you know, these Course of the Inevitable 1 and 2 dropping, and some of these interviews and whatnot that he's done, is the most we've seen Lloyd Banks in quite some time. Like, he's totally content and good with just chilling, you know, enjoying life, enjoying the family life and everything. You know, he must be very financially stable. But for real, that seems to almost kind of be a connection between that. You know, to me, what Banks said there, you know, that he misses those days. He don't miss the fame. And, you know, a lot of times, and then I said, and then, like I said, currently, how Banks stays in the cut. Like, that's cool, you know. I've talked to many motherfuckers that have achieved fame and massive success where everyone knows them. And, you know, a lot of cats be like, man, that ish ain't everything, you know, and it don't solve all your problems. And, you know, to a lot of cats, they can get lost in the sauce and get addicted to that fame like a drug. So I don't know, like, y'all feel me on this? Like, that says a lot about who Lloyd Banks is, his character. Again, you know, it's a damn shame, though, reminiscing upon all this, and then, you know, the current state of G-Unit, that there is none. And, you know, recently we heard 50 talk about how he got tired of carrying them on his back. And, you know, him and Yayo have a different relationship. He even kind of called Yayo like the lovable fluck up, you know, like he's like, Yayo will always be like, yo, at 50, I messed up. What'd you do, Tony? You know, till he can forgive him. But with Banks, we heard Fifth kind of refer to him. Did he say he was lazy at one point in time? I don't know, you know, and he talked about how certain things he tried to line up with business ventures, like the G-Unit sneakers, that they wouldn't even wear them, you know, and that he just, I don't know, we know 50 Cent is like a very business-minded guy, and I don't know, you know, clearly him and Lloyd Banks differ in many ways, but still, that era, 2002, you know, their debut, that mixtape series, that run all the way through to Get Rich or Die Trying, then the Beg for Mercy album, like I said, continuing to drop the G-Unit radio series, you know, Hunger for More 2, or no, the next one was Rotten Apple. Like, it was an amazing run, but obviously we know it faded out, and Fifth moved on. You know, he doesn't even really care about music that much nowadays. Seemingly he's more into TV and other ish slang and liquor and whatnot. And if you guys recall, back in, what was it, 2011, 2012, 2013, when G-Unit did the reunion at Summer Jam, and we saw Kid being the new addition, they revived their old, you know, mixtape format. If you guys recall, they had like songs over other artists' beats again and stuff like that. And I don't know, you know, I remember that was a dope project as well, I thought, and it was really cool to see G-Unit back. But that ish faded quick, you know. It was really odd to see them appear at Summer Jam and 50 Cent to be all in to just pretty much drop that project or two. I think it might have been 2 mixtapes, but after that, finito, that was it, you know. But I don't know, y'all. Let me know your guys' thoughts on all this. It's Jay Coffee Talk if you're new over here. I definitely rambled and ranted on a bit on this one, you know what I'm saying? That's why they call me Coffee Talk, because I will coffee talk it up with y'all on all different topics. music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. But more importantly, make sure to hop in them comments and let me know your guys' thoughts. You know, that's what it's all about, hearing what y'all got to say. I look forward to talking to you guys in them comments. And again, you know, what an amazing little interview. You know, looking back on that amazing era, 2002, before Get Rich or Die Trying. You know what I mean? Thanks for watching, y'all. I'm up out here, guys. Peace.